Hello everyone, Wilstuff back in the house. You may remember I did a video on the original Game Boy nearly 2 weeks ago or something. Well, since I don't have a Game Boy Color, I decided to jump to the Game Boy Advance, or Advance if you call it in the UK. As you can see, I still have the original box I got from a Christmas video 2017, which was pretty good. And this is the handheld that came with it, which was sort of a see-through orange. Or transparent, as you call it, or something. Yeah, actually, I remember having one of these as a kid, though the games for it were mostly a bit shit. Like, for example, Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion. I mean, hey, I liked the movie and the cartoon series, but yeah, looking back, the game's a bit meh. And here's Dragon Ball Z Legacy Goku. We'll get to that later on when I actually review bloody games for a change. And then I got this game, Mario Tennis Power Tour, which is actually just Mario Power Tennis, because, well, it was a bootleg cartridge. And as you can see, I bought it at a farmer's market that time, which was before I got this, because, this was back when I got this back when my DS Lite was still alive. Sorry. And The Simpsons Road Rage, which is easily my favourite GBA game of all time. And I also got Pokemon Fire Red with this good boy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Childhood memories. But yeah, the reason I mostly had shovelware at the time was because I was more of a PS2 kid at the time, so this back then was just a bit I mean, it was fine. But looking back, it's way better than I thought. Seriously, you cannot believe how amazing it really was. And let me just quickly grab something. And if you don't believe me, here's the DS Lite that I mentioned at one point. Like I said, the power button got jammed and broke off. I'm gonna pack one of these. And thus I had to get one of these. And like I said, I originally wanted to save up for a Game Boy SP. But because I've heard it's not as comfy as the original, so I said, screw it, I'm compensating a murky reflective screen for comfy shoulder buttons. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? Sorry for really shitty glare. But yeah, that was the sound of childhood nostalgia. Nostalgic. Alright. Let's just pop in a game or something. No, we're not gonna play something awful. Go on, let's just pop in good old Road Rage. Sorry for that annoying glare. Yeah, this was kind of a thing with Nintendo. Like, they basically released handhelds that caused asinine glares all over the bloody screen. Fox Interactive. And then Naltron. Avengers Age of Naltron. This is absolutely the best rendition of the music. And yeah, sorry for that obnoxious glare. Alright, let's just go for a bit of a Sunday drive. Get it? Alright. Yeah, Homer. Because obs. My favorite music. This is actually the best song in the game. Shut up, you're ruining my jam. Fine. Oh, it's fine. See you in the viewfinder. Shut up, I'm getting it. Sorry I keep tilting the screen. But yeah, you're gonna have to get used to that delay, which is like basically a pain in the ass at times. Actually, you know what? That way, just because I don't want you to suffer having to look at that shitty glare, may as well. So yeah, the Game Boy Advance. I don't own much games for it. Well, except for a few good ones and, well, basically some pretty shit ones, but hey. Yeah, that's kind of a thing with my childhood. I mean, I basically owned these at the time because, well, I didn't know much better. But hey, the PS2 was so great, it made me suddenly forget about this. But looking back, it's mostly better than I thought. Just except for those really annoying glares that you get along the screen and yeah. And like how they released a Game Boy sort of thing on the Super Nintendo called Super Game Boy, where you basically pop an original Game Boy cartridge onto a Super Nintendo. Sometimes there's black Game Boy Color ones. They sort of did the same thing with, well, not just the GameCube with its Game Boy player, but also the Nintendo 64. Yeah, they released the Wide Boy cartridges where it was the same as the Super Game Boy, except it looked more elongated, like as if they were making a bloody giraffe. But yeah, it could play those games on the Atari without having to deal with this freaking glare. And the same thing with the Game Boy player for GameCube. None of those I own whatsoever. And yeah, it was kind of a interesting time for the Game Boy line. I mean, they even released different cartridges, which, unlike these, they were like light grey, and they had cartoons from, you know, Nickelodeon, Disney, 4Kids even, yeah. And they even released the first two Shrek movies and Shark Tale on them. They were called Game Boy Video cartridges, which were made by Majesco, the same company that did, you know, Teen Titans on the Game Boy Advance. And I have played on emulator once, which explains I don't have it. Yeah, it was a bit meh. I mean, like these two, it was just kind of boring. But by God, the graphics were great, and the music, the main menu music was great. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for a sort of a mini part 3 when we'll talk about backwards compatibility. Bye.